3, 2, 1. Watermelon.
Oh, that was really close.
Both fruit.
Wait, so
what are the chances?
What do we have to do in between?
We need to think of a word that relates to both a watermelon and an apple.
Okay.
Okay. That's difficult.
No?
All right, 3.
I got one.
I'm gonna pick a random word and it's not gonna match, but 3, 2, 1.
Seeds.
Pineapple.
Okay. I was ready for seeds to be locked in.
I know. I should. Okay. That does make sense. I mean, we could have said fruit, to be honest, too, at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking like more like just pineapple, apple, pen. And then for some reason, I was like, yeah. Now the next one is gonna be pen. Can't do that anymore.
Wait, so now we have just something between those two?
Something in between. What was it? Seeds and pineapple.
Okay. Hold on.
Yeah. See, it's difficult now. Planting a thought in your head. What is planting a thought? Ready? 3, 2, 1. SpongeBob.
Wait.
Because I don't know, seeds.
Wait. When you said planting a thought in my head, were you trying to plant my head?
No.
Oh my god. Dude, I was thinking plant before, and then you said I'm planting a thought in your head. I'm like,
okay.
Okay. So
you're thinking of even better like connections than I thought, and I'm just making stupid things that don't make sense.
So SpongeBob and plants?
SpongeBob and plants. I was mainly just focusing on the pineapple, and then I was like, SpongeBob plants some stuff in our heads when we were kids. Like the subliminal messages, everything.
Yeah. That's
got to be something. So SpongeBob and plants.
Okay.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Seaweed. That was what I was thinking. I was thinking either seaweed or kelp.
Yeah.
All right.
I got one thing.
3, 2, 1. Green.
Water.
Okay. Green and water. Okay. 3.
Wait.
I like doing the speed rounds.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Lily
Algae.
pad. 3, 2, 1.
Swamp.
I was gonna say organism, but I was gonna change it to water organism. But it's still organism.
Swamp organism.
Okay.
Hawk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
3, 2, 1. Swamp
Frog.
thing. Okay.
Wait, hold on.
Swamp thing and frog. I got it.
We can't reuse.
We can't reuse.
Okay.
No, that's against the law. Against the rules. So swamp thing and what was yours again?
Frog.
Frog and swamp thing. Okay. All right. 3.
Okay. It's a one-word thing or like an idea?
I mean, like my idea was swamp thing because like I can't. That's like a.
That's one word.
Oh, it is okay.
I mean, right? Isn't swamp thing hyphen? Or
Kind of, yeah. I mean, technically it's 2 words, but it's hyphenated to create the character. But yeah.
Okay.
All right, so I'm just gonna say something that's even more far out.
Yeah, the thing I'm thinking of is you're not gonna.
It's all right. It's all right. It's getting our brains flowing.
Yeah.
And now we have a lot of ideas to talk about for the podcast.
I have a few things, yeah.
Okay. All right, 3, 2, 1. Gamera.
What'd you say?
Gamera.
Gamera?
I mean, Gamera is like this giant, like he's like a tortoise, but he's like, yeah, I think that's what he is.
Oh, is he like a King Kong villain?
Yes, yeah. He's his own thing.
Godzilla.
But yeah.
Is he in that universe? Or?
I don't know if he's in that universe or if he's just like a separate creature, but yeah, that's what he's like. I was thinking like swamp, like, okay, or what was it? Did you say frog? Okay, so like he's not exactly a frog, but he's the closest thing that I could think of that was another animal or thing like swamp thing.
I was thinking chemicals because, swamp thing obviously.
Well, now
probably chemicals.
We got the next thing.
But frogs, chemicals in the water, they're making the frogs gay. That's
that was the connection.
Yeah.
Now we know what the next word is, and we got this already now.
Wait, chemicals and
Gamera. Ready? You say it together. 3, 2, 1.
Nuclear.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
You're right. That was much better.
So nuclear and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I mean, it was a lot of words though, to be fair, but I don't know.
TMNT.
Yeah, I should have said that. Yeah.
That's technically one.
They're still making movies about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, right?
They just made one where they're actually teenagers for once.
Really?
Yeah. Seth Rogen, I think, made it.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Is it like kind of good, or is it like the other like for like a younger audience?
I'm not sure if it's supposed to be for a younger audience because I feel like if Seth Rogen made it, he would make it not necessarily adult, but for like someone who's a fan of
like
franchise.
What he did with Mario with Donkey Kong, which I still only saw parts of that. I didn't know.
Oh, you didn't?
No, yeah. I mean, it's on Netflix now, but I really only saw like a little bit of it.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Nuclear and TMNT.
Okay.
I got one.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. French Polynesia. No, I'm just saying things that are related to one, and then I'm just kind of like stretching the other.
French Polynesia.
Yeah. That's like some islands that France owned that they use their nukes. They just nuked it.
Oh.
And I was thinking like, all right, there were probably turtles around that area, and they probably got nuked to hell. So, all right. You said what, ooze?
Yeah.
Ooze in French Polynesia. 3, 2, 1. The Great Garbage Patch. What'd you say?
I said Godzilla.
Godzilla. I said the Great Garbage Patch, which is in the Pacific Ocean. All right, so we have a lot of topics that we can talk about now.
Yeah.
So we could save this for next week, and then we'll continue it. So we just have to remember Garbage Patch and what was it called again? Godzilla, yes, yeah. Which I'm really excited for that movie to come out. That's coming out next month.
Oh, the King Kong.
Yes.
Godzilla. Or which one? The Godzilla x King Kong.
Yeah, when they're working together, but it's still like they're fighting a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah. I'll open a window.
The new Planet of the Apes too.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one because I mean do you remember any of the old characters that were in that?
Like the original?
Yes.
From like the 60s, 70s?
Yeah.
I remember a lot of them. I remember hearing the name Dr. Zaius, and I think he's in this one.
Who's the guy that's wearing the crown in the trailer? That is the actual like. He's not Caesar. Caesar's the good one, right?
I think Caesar's dead at this point.
Oh,
I think this guy might. I think they might be doing something like the Roman Empire.
Yeah, where, that's what I was getting.
Julius Caesar, and like now Caesar just becomes a name for king. I think Caesar wasn't his last name. Like, you know the name Julius Caesar?
Yeah.
I think it's almost like
he was based off
King
of salad.
James.
The salad came first.
Exactly. If I'm ever emperor,
name me after that salad, bro.
Exactly.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, because I think his name, and I think the new king, I think it's like something Caesar.
Okay.
Like,
then that makes sense.
I think
But yeah, he's supposed to be like a villain, and then they're trying to make like that other guy. I didn't know who he was, if he was a character. I'm excited for when they bring the astronauts back.
Yeah, I saw looking through the telescope, and I'm like, yeah, we're totally looking at the space thing.
Yeah, because that astronaut left at the beginning of the first. That was like a news article in the first Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
So they're actually following through with it. That's going to be wild.
Did you know there's like 5 of the original Planet of the Apes?
There's 5? Oh, yeah.
Like, there's Planet of the Apes, and then there's like there's one where the apes go back in time and actually land on Earth, and it's like the reverse Planet of the Apes.
Oh, okay. I think I've seen that. Okay.
You might have seen like clips of that.
It's yeah. So that one's like almost like a different version. Like not even like that's a parallel. Multiverse.
Well, kinda. It's like the original movies. I think
so they do line up to that. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because I think technically it's a whole different universe.
Yeah.
The original movies because like takes place in the 60s, 70s.
Right. Okay.
Versus now when they go. This started like 2012.
Yeah. Okay.
James Franco.
Yeah, that's where the new one is. Yeah, well, that one's just like a whole different version that's more realistic. But the one where it was like the reverse, where the apes go back in time to where it's humans.
Well, that's in the same storyline of the original.
Okay, that's what I was asking.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how they think they find like a spaceship and they go in the spaceship, and instead of the original astronaut who went whatever time displacement or wormhole or whatever, and goes into the future, they just do the reverse.
Okay,
but it's in the same universe, and it's like I think they're characters from the original movie.
Because I do know, there was like one where it was like, almost like it was present day. Like I remember seeing like all the apes were in actual like everyday uniforms, like a police officer uniform and like stuff like that. Like that's how current it was.
Well, are you thinking of the end of the one with Mark Wahlberg?
One with Mark maybe. That one was still on the old one, right? No,
this is that's the first reboot.
I thought the first reboot was with James Franco.
There's one before that, but it was like a one-off.
Oh, okay.
It was like 2004 came out or something.
Yeah, so they did.
And like people didn't like it as much.
Yeah, got you. Okay.
And in the end of the original, he's like, he sees the Statue of Liberty. He's like, he realizes he's on Earth the whole time.
Yep. Yeah.
In the Mark Wahlberg one, I think he gets back in the spaceship and heads back, but he really just goes further into the future, and he sees instead of seeing the Statue of Liberty, he sees a giant Abraham Lincoln sitting on the Abraham Lincoln monument.
Yeah.
It's that, but it's an ape.
Oh, that's funny.
Abraham
Lincoln yeah. Abraham Lincoln.
I don't really remember how that story went. I completely forgot everything except the ending of that.
Yeah. Everybody always usually only remembers the ending. Like that Statue of Liberty scene is like what I remember, but like everything else, it's like, I kind of like blanked on all the actual characters. But I mean, like, I knew there was like the orangutan. He's still in the new one, but it's like he got rebooted, but at least he's still a character in it.
I think it might be a different ape than the one in like the older new ones.
The older new ones. Okay.
Like that might be Dr. Zaius.
Yes. That's who it was?
I heard someone say Dr. Zaius is in the new ones coming out.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. That probably is him then.
So I'm not sure exactly of all things because I didn't look into like news articles. I just saw the trailer.
Yeah.
I heard someone talk about it.
Yeah. That was during like the Super Bowl. That's when the trailer came out. That's why everybody saw it.
I was like, yo, I love those movies.
There was a lot of trailers during the Super Bowl. But the Deadpool one was like the most like exciting.
It wasn't even like the full trailer. It was like, hey, here's the trailer for the trailer. Go watch it on YouTube. So we can make money off you watching it.
I was a little disappointed that it wasn't fully there. Also because they didn't want to buy up a whole time slot because it costs so much money for that.
Yeah.
So they really don't need to at that point. But yeah, it's still like, I would have rather just seen it on the screen at that point. But yeah, that's still pretty hype. That's the only Marvel project that I'm actually excited for coming out recently. Everything else is just, I mean, now there's like more leaks coming out about everything else too, but I'm just not really excited as I was back in like 2020 or what was the last like really big like Spider-Man movie. Yeah. Like nothing else has been like that big.
Oh
since,
yeah.
But yeah, no.
Have you seen breakdowns of the Deadpool trailer?
No, I haven't yet.
Dude, do you want me to say like what's like it's in the trailer.
Yeah.
So there's one thing where I forgot where it was, if he's like in a snow tundra or like a sand desert, but there's a pan up shot and in the corner there's a Secret Wars comic book. Marvel Secret Wars comic book.
Yeah, so they're like
with Dr. Doom's face on it.
I did know that they were going to okay, so I heard some rumors about that as well too. Like I saw some leaks.
All right, don't say any leaks.
Well, actually, yeah. Oh, no. I know who he's versing in it. He's not versing Dr. Doom.
In Deadpool?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think I know like the main villain.
Yeah.
Like the bald lady?
No. Who's the bald lady? No.
Okay, because I saw something of
unless
like
it is
some lady who's the villain. She's like from the comics.
Okay, then yeah, I have no idea. I was gonna say something else, but like it's just kind of supposed to be like people are making it seem like it's supposed to be like the Spider-Man of the X-Men universe.
Gotcha.
So then that's what they would do for like a villain. It's just like,
Okay.
But yeah. I'm excited for that. Now there's actually like a lot of movies that are finally coming out that I'm excited for, but hell, I can't wait for that Gamera movie. That's going to come. It's not going to Gamera is never going to it's not as popular. I don't think it's ever going to be a thing.
Yeah, besides Godzilla and King Kong. Like I think this new villain, the new monkey
Scar King.
The Scar King?
Yeah.
Like I don't think he's from anything.
And there's another, and there's another Titan that's siding with him. He's called Shimu.
What's that?
He's basically like Godzilla, except he shoots ice. So they're theorizing that the Ghidorah, the Titan that Godzilla fought in like the second movie, King of the Monsters, Godzilla 2.
What was it?
It was a giant 3-headed dragon thing.
Oh.
That's the actual only alien Titan. The other
he fought a 3-headed alien?
Yeah.
In what movie?
Godzilla, the King of the Monsters.
Damn.
It wasn't seen as an alien because he was frozen in ice, but he like de-thawed. And then they're theorizing that Shimu is the one who put him in ice. So it's interesting how they're connecting the whole story with all these like Titans and stuff like that.
Wait, did Godzilla King of the Monsters come out after Godzilla vs. Kong?
No, that came out before actually.
Is that the first one?
That's the second one. I think the first one they were fighting these Mutos, which are like other smaller like creatures. Godzilla was like doing that. But then I
have no recollection of like
what
happened.
Nobody really cares about the single movies. Like I didn't really care about it too much. But I mean like that was like the only aspect of it was that there was like an alien Titan, so that's why I thought it was like cool and I remembered it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they're going to be introducing a lot of like other stuff like that too in the future. So I mean, after they explore all the other ones that they've done, it's just in space from now on. But yeah, I don't know. It's just space is a little bit cooler than everything on Earth. But
you think you're gonna do Robo Godzilla or Mecha Godzilla? Which one is it?
What was it? They already did Mecha Godzilla.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, you didn't see the movie?
Which I mean, I'm pretty sure I've seen them all. Maybe not the second Godzilla.
It was Godzilla vs. Kong.
They had Mecha Godzilla on
Yeah.
Dude, what?
That was like really high. Yeah. It was actually the spirit of Ghidorah they captured into and put it into Mecha Godzilla. And that's
with Tom Hiddleston?
Tom Hiddleston was only in the King Kong movie, Kong Skull Island, which took place in like the 40s. So that explains why he wasn't in it. It was like him, Brie Larson on the island. And then, But then, now it's like a whole different cast. So they're sticking with the cast that was in like the last movie, and then that's it. And everybody else is just like all the other movies they don't care about anymore.
Gotcha.
But no. Still exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to watch these movies again.
Dude,
I really don't remember like anything from the movies.
I want to do like a whole marathon. Yeah.
Wait, how many are there? 4?
Now at least there's probably 4 because there was 2 Godzilla, the King Kong, and then Godzilla vs. Kong. So then 4,
Gotcha.
Yeah, and then there's a lot of movies coming out. Like with Dune 2, like that's supposed to be really big. Like everybody's hyped for that. So I gotta like start. I don't know when that's coming out. Actually, March like 15th, maybe soon. So by the time this episode's out, it'll probably be out. But yeah, that's gonna be like exciting too, because it's like Star Wars, but like more written better. But speaking of that, I'm just seeing like a lot of parallels with Avatar: The Last Airbender with Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you probably see some of the parallels too, right?
Well, I haven't watched it yet.
Even the cartoon.
Oh, I watched the cartoon.
Yeah. From the cartoon, you could like tell so many parallels from like Star Wars. The entire time I was watching it, I was just like, okay, so Aang's just using the Force, and then like, well, you already know what happens, so I could like say stuff, right? Yeah, like Order 66 happens to the Airbenders. Like, that's exactly, it's the aspect of him being unique, which causes intrigue, which is why like Episode 4, Star Wars was like so good because Luke Skywalker was the last Jedi. So yeah, that also just like adds another level to it. But yeah, I mean, besides that, I mean, it's not really too similar, but those are the main key aspects that I was like, yeah, okay, it's Star Wars, but like it's Star Wars, but meant for like a younger audience since Aang is young. But I mean, I saw the whole new show, and it's like sometimes it's like for kids, and then sometimes it's like, wow, that's like the CGI for that creature is like pretty scary. I'd be horrified if I was a kid watching this. Yeah. Because I can't remember any scenes from a kid, so I didn't remember that being there. But yeah, it was just like creepy.
So don't spoil anything. But how far? Well, how different is it than the original show?
It's they copied the show exactly.
It's the same story.
It's exactly the same, pretty much.
And then how far into the original show is it?
season 1, basically.
It's all season 1.
Yeah.
How many episodes?
8 episodes.
Okay.
So they don't follow like every storyline. They just skip to a bunch of more of the interesting parts, but still.
Is it hour-long episodes?
Yeah, about either 45, 55. Most of them are like, less than an hour, but yeah.
Dude, is that what was it? 45, 55?
Yeah, I guess that's like with like just presuming there's going to be ads, but there's no ads on Netflix, so I don't know why they would do that, but yeah.
Wait, yeah, so like I don't know how many episodes were in the original season, but like they were cartoon or Nickelodeon shows, so they were 30-minute segments, but they're probably like 22 minutes.
Probably, yeah. No, they were probably like 22 minutes.
Of story.
Yes.
And I would guess 21 episodes.
Yeah.
A season.
So that would be pretty much the same almost. Yeah.
6. Yeah.
Close enough.
Maybe like 5 episodes different.
Yeah.
Like it's missing 5 episodes, which would probably be like 2 episodes. So if they made 10 episodes of the new show, it would probably be just as long.
Yeah. But the CGI was also like pretty bad in a lot of parts.
Oh yeah.
Like every time there was an action sequence happening, you knew it was CGI. It was just like so bad in that regard, but it was just like, all right, I could ignore it for now, but it's like still like, Zuko was just written the best, but I can't remember how he was in the show, but they just did it good in the live action show.
It's not dubbed, right?
No, it's English.
It's an American show. It's not.
Yeah.
Based off anime. But.
It's based. Is it based on manga or no? It's just like a full on American show.
Like it's a full American show, but like it's supposed to be kind of like anime based.
Yeah,
it's not anime because the animation is different.
Because that's the different. Yeah. If it's like American, then it's not considered anime, right? Yeah, but no, yeah, I liked it. It was a good show. And then so I'm just like, there's no other like actual shows like that right now. I think, I mean, in terms of like anime or like live action, like there was the what's it called, One Piece show, but yeah, that was like only 8 episodes too, actually. Yeah, but then that is over. So
how many episodes of One Piece original show is those 8 episodes? Like 300?
Yeah, I wish. Yeah, they're definitely gonna milk that, so it's like a lot more content. They could do that forever, but the characters are gonna age visibly so much, so it's just gonna be like
they can't
a little more difficult.
Like they really can't like follow the show because like
unless they just get a really high budget. Yeah, that's gonna be
expensive, and there's no way they can keep up with everything.
Yeah,
especially how far the story is along now.
Oh my god, yeah. Let's see if the camera is.
Do we need to take a technical break?
No, it's still going.
Is that one gonna make a noise?
That one's gonna make a noise in like 7 minutes. Actually, no, it should have actually died by now. I'm surprised it didn't die yet. I still have to talk right into the mic. All right. Technical break.
Ooh, mama.
Yeah, I was in like 28 minutes. So that's actually
Bitcoin.
Better. Oh, yeah. So Bitcoin, what?
Yeah, Bitcoin, dude. During our little intermission there, it
was a really long intermission. You guys missed it.
Yo, Bitcoin. This isn't getting my phone. Oh, dude, Bitcoin's popping off right now. It just hit 57,000 like a minute ago.
So what was it before?
So today it's up to like 10%, 9.5% as of right now.
Wow.
The past month, it's up 33%. Past 3 months, it's up 49%. In the past year, it's up 130%.
That's insane.
So
it's only going up from now.
It's almost at, it's like 9,000 away from its peak. Which.
What happens when it's at its peak? What do you mean? Like then there's just no.
Well, it's all time high.
Yeah. Like in the past.
Back in 2021 of November. Dude, it's great. That was at 65,000.
Oh, okay, yeah.
69,000.
But then, I didn't realize it like went down, but now it's like finally getting back up. Okay, that's pretty good.
So it went up to 65,000. I'm pretty sure I saw 69,000.
Yeah.
And then it went back down to 16,000 because it crashed.
Okay.
Now it's at 56,000.
Wow, 16,000. Whoa, that could have been like a good time for me to buy.
Dude, apparently now is supposed to be the last time you could actually like really see a huge gain on your return.
Otherwise, it's just going to be like...
This is going to be the last time it's going to have a huge spike, and then it's going to crash. Because supposedly after this next cycle, which I think people mapped it out, and it's been like every 3 years.
Yeah.
It's peaked, and then a little while later crashed.
So then is that what you're going to try and do too? Like you're basing it out of like every 3 years? So
well, now it's when it's peaking. Like they say moving forward, now enough financial institutions are going to be invested in it that it's going to be stabilized and it's not going to have these huge fluctuations as much.
Oh, okay.
So you're not going to see it go from another 69,000 to 60,000.
Okay, but you're also not going to see it increase even more?
It's probably going to go up. Some people are trying to like do the math on it.
Yeah.
And they say it could get up to like I don't know. Some people say 100,000 by the end of the year. Some people say it's going to get up to $1 million a coin. Some people say 500,000 a coin. Some 50,000 a coin. I'm obviously, I have some, so I'm going to be biased towards looking at all the information that's good for it.
Yeah.
So like, it's going to just point me towards that. But apparently there's like some statistical law that works with like a lot of things in nature that like over time it skyrockets and like then plateaus. And they say it happens with Bitcoin because it's been happening with Bitcoin.
Right.
It's been following this trend. And they're like, oh, so can you apply it to stocks? Doesn't apply to stocks. Applies to a lot of other things like in nature. Because I think it's just more of a factor of like I don't know how nature works.
Life itself.
Dude,
how life works.
I'm talking about shit I don't even know. So
yeah, I mean you're elaborating, but it's still it's interesting.
Nothing on it. Like it's just how nature works, man. Like Bitcoin is just nature.
Bitcoin is a part of nature, but stocks aren't. Stocks are more sophisticated.
Yeah. Yeah. I forgot. I want to say it's the golden ratio.
Gold ratio, and what is that again?
The golden ratio. It's
yeah.
It's like this thing that basically everything in nature follows. Like
it's like pi 3.14. You can see it everywhere or something like that.
It's not pi, but yeah, you see it everywhere. It's
yeah.
So it's this ratio that is based. I think it's you start with 1, and then you do another 1, and then moving forward from there, the ratio states that like the next number is going to be the last 2 numbers combined. So it goes 1, 1, or so it's the last 2 numbers. So you start with technically 0 and then 1. So the last 2 numbers add together, you get 1.
Okay.
Then you go to the next number, it's 1 and 1. So the next number is 2. Go to the next number, last 2 numbers are 1 and 2. So the next number is 3. Then you go to the next number, it's last 2 numbers are 2 and 3. So that's 5. And then from there, it's 3 and 5, so 8. And then it just keeps going. And then apparently, like you can make this circle that's, I don't know how you draw the circle that makes it a circle.
I think I've seen that. Numbers. Yeah.
But if you put this thing over like anything, like the leaves on a tree, they match up. I don't know how like you match up this ratio to a tree, but apparently that's how it works. Maybe it's not necessarily a circle, but like each branch, the subsequent branch is, the last one twice.
Okay, yeah.
My guess would be that because it now has, let's say 1 leaf, right? It gets that much energy from the sun. Okay, so you just supplied the leaf with enough energy for another leaf. Now it's twice as many leaves. Oh, so we can make 2 more leaves. Now it's 4 leaves, so it could supply enough for, I guess, 5 leaves or whatever.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Not really, but like kind of, yeah.
Like it's building on the previous leaves it's had.
Yes,
basically every leaf is like a solar panel for a tree.
It's like looking at the past blueprints for how to make the next one.
Well, not necessarily the past blueprints, but because it has 1 leaf, or because it has more leaves the previous time, it's able to gather more energy in the same amount of time.
Okay, yeah.
So 1 leaf has enough energy to have the tree grow another leaf. And then now there's 2 leaves, so now it gets enough energy to grow 2 more leaves, or like whatever.
Or 3 then at that point. Then or like if you're doing the 1, 2.
It keeps getting more and more leaves, so it's able to grow more and more leaves.
So it's not. Yeah.
Or what? I don't know if it's technically exponential.
Because right, that's considered the golden rule then, yeah. So that's like different, but still like okay, yeah.
Apparently, like if like the most attractive face is gonna have those features.
Damn, let's get that
like,
face.
Oh yeah, so like the length of in between your eyes should be like one eye.
Yeah.
And then
yeah, because I know that for like drawing faces, that's what we're told to like do. Yeah.
The golden ratio is huge in drawing. That's what makes like I guess a lot of like well drawn things.
Okay.
The ratio.
Right.
Yeah. Bitcoin. That's where we started.
Yeah. So how does Bitcoin fit into that? Because that seems like it's just completely different. Because it's just like.
So I think I don't know how it follows it, and it's like I saw a video was explaining how it affects all these different things, and they analyze Bitcoin and it follows it. My guess would be because Bitcoin is technically not really a platform. Ethereum is more of a platform, but Bitcoin, like it spreads. Dude, I'm gonna start sounding like an idiot. Start talking about trying to explain this.
Nah, I mean it's your interpretation of it, so I mean,
I just can't explain it. You good?
Actually, the battery pack on that camera is dead.
Okay, so we could just keep going.
Yeah, we could keep going. I could also just change the camera angle for that camera to fit both of us and see if that works.
Okay.
It's just going to be random parts during the podcast where there's going to be blackout. We're not going to be able to, no one else is going to see.
Oh, can I do anything to help? Don't the shield be helpful?
No. That works. Yeah, we'll go for it. You're like leaning too much?
I could move closer.
No, I mean like I can move the stack like that.
Like, are you gonna be in it? Oh yeah. Yeah, I can move it a little bit.
Yeah. So we're good now.
Yeah.
Sick.
So yeah, basically, whoa. How'd that get over there?
What the heck?
Do you want to move this?
Is the light now like?
I think it's fine.
The light's good.
What was I saying?
Ethereum is different.
There's a platform, Bitcoin. Oh yeah, so Bitcoin is like it's I think it expands just through like the way human nature does. Like, if this many people use it, so I think it's kind of like a currency spreading.
Yeah.
Like, so these people are using it like, oh, but I want to purchase what they have. So now I need to start getting Bitcoin too. And then it expands that way.
Yes.
Like, so
but now
all start adopting it.
So now it's turning into something different. So it's like not going to follow the golden rule when it stops going for those ups and downs pretty much, or it's still going to do that.
Something might, I'm not sure exactly if it will, but there's still more Bitcoin being created. And
okay.
Bitcoin's still going to be created until like a year 2120. But the rate of mining is going to decrease at that point. But there's still more Bitcoin being created until that year, whatever the year is. And then that's the only limit. That's the entire capacity of Bitcoin. That's the entire. There's only like 120 million Bitcoins ever going to be mined.
And that's when it's going to be worth like a lot.
If it's still used and people think like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, exactly. Like once we get closer to the limit, I feel like that's when it's going to stop being more relevant actually. Because I mean, like you could just compare that to gold, or like I guess there's like a limit for gold, and then at that point, then we just like change our currency to paper, and we don't find value in it, or like stop backing our banks with gold.
Well, the reason why we stopped backing.
I know there's a conspiracy. Oh, wow, you could talk about that.
Well, technically, the reason why they said we were only going to stop backing gold for a little bit, but they never undid it. Thanks to old Nixon. Well, that probably wasn't.
Whoa, what did Nixon do?
He took us off the gold standard, man.
Why would you do such a thing?
Which allowed for us to create more money than we have gold. Which the economical reasoning of why this is good is
Makes
because
sense.
it allows us to create more money in order to keep fluctuating and like have more money to work with.
Yeah.
If we're backed by gold, we're limited by the amount of gold.
Right.
So
Our economy can't go that high then, yeah.
But you take it off the gold standard, then like, wait, so what is the money based on? Like, oh no, we just trust it, you know?
Yeah.
Well, actually now it's more of like, I think the reason why like we trust it now is because, or the reason why it's valuable now still is because we forced the oil producing countries to only buy and sell using US dollars.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And the thing that's backing that up is the US military. We're saying, hey,
so we're enforcing it, yeah.
We're basically like saying, hey, we have the most powerful government, so we're the ones who can make money out of nothing.
But also, like, other countries are doing the same exact thing too, with like not relying on gold, right?
Well, we're on the like, we're the reserve currency. Basically, every other currency is kind of based off the dollar.
Because I know a lot of like places are like not using the dollar anymore, like trying to switch now.
Yeah,
so
those like Russia, India, China.
Okay, yeah.
There's a bunch of countries. I forgot. There's like a term for them, but they're basically trying to get the oil countries to
do the same,
change
like
to their currency.
Yeah,
which we don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like that because I live in this country, but I'm like, I mean, I'm not saying it's right that we have this monopoly on like what we have a monopoly on basically like producing gold.
Yeah.
Not really. That's probably very oversimplified.
we just have like
right.
Yeah, we could determine the what, like, we have all the sources of oil, and that's just coming to our country, so that's why we could base that. Basically, oil is the new gold.
Yeah. Energy.
Yeah, energy is the new gold, and that's what we're using now to determine it. But what do you think about like a global currency? Why wouldn't that be a good thing? Because then you don't trust other countries and like
then it's
inflation.
It's the one thing controlling, which so I'm gonna start getting conspiratorial now. So
Wow.
like with like the dollar, like like the Fed, the Federal Reserve.
Yeah.
So like they basically teach you in economics. They're like, oh yeah, we can affect the like inflation rate. We could basically affect how much inflation is. Which inflation is basically just like a hidden tax. Like if your money is just sitting in cash, you're losing money.
Right.
Because which there's also the justification, which you want inflation because it forces money to move. And that's really what drives value. It's people trading money for actions.
Yeah.
But then there's the thing that the Federal Reserve can affect inflation rate. Although it's not completely true because we've seen they're trying to influence it one way. That's not really working. So they're trying to adjust the interest rate, which is another way to affect inflation because that affect them increasing or decreasing the interest rate of their money. I'm missing it. I'm jumping over like a ton of stuff.
Okay, yeah.
So wait, when I say interest rate, do you know what I mean?
Like the interest is like money accrued over time, but like taxed that.
Yeah.
Like,
okay. So the interest rate is so when I say interest rate, it's for other banks to basically take out loans from the Federal Reserve.
Okay.
So banks get US dollars by getting a loan from the Federal Reserve.
Yeah.
And that loan they have to pay back with interest.
Yeah.
Which whole other thing, like, wait a minute. They loan money that they have to pay back, but like, wait, all the money's coming from the Federal Reserve. Isn't there only a certain amount of money that's there
in circulation?
So
and
technically, there's more money owed than there is money.
So, okay, and that's why we're in debt.
Okay. Well, wait.
All right. Well, like,
that's one reason. So
yeah,
I don't know where all our debt is, but I'm pretty sure some of it is to the Fed because the Federal Reserve, it's not like it's a privately owned bank. It's not a government owned thing.
Oh, okay.
Like they call it the Federal Reserve, even though it's not federal.
Yeah.
They named it Federal Reserve, so it sounded like a government thing.
Yeah. Fooled me.
It's like, dude, there's this whole thing. Like, there's this book called The Monster or the Beast of Jekyll Island. I never read it. I've heard about it a lot. But it's basically the story of how in the early 1900s, when there was Rockefeller, Vanderbilt, Carnegie, all of these like super robber barons. J.P. Morgan. So they all gathered together on this island, and they all went there with undercover names. Like, I think Rockefeller went there, or a representative of Rockefeller, and his name is Lube Job. Like, I think he literally had that name because he was oil.
That's hilarious. Okay.
Like, yeah. And they went there, and they all devised this bill. We devised when you're in
how they would make the most money.
Things. Well, the thing is, like, in the conspiratorial things, they say like, oh, they devised this plan to basically set up the federal bank. Which there's been bunch of times where there's a federal bank, it was taken down. It wasn't until like 1912 or something. I think it was before World War I, and the federal bank was established, and it was basically devised by all the robber barons, and I think even the Rothschilds. You know the Rothschilds?
No, who are those?
They're like, they're supposedly like the richest family in the world. They were one of the first, maybe not one of the first, but they started banks generations ago, and they gained wealth by banking, basically.
Okay.
And some people say they're worth trillions of dollars today, like over 100 trillion. But there's tons of, actually, one of them just died today or yesterday.
Well, damn. All right, that was pretty big then, right? Did they? What became of that? Did that person have like a lot of like stuff in their name, and now it's all like transferred?
Well, so they are beyond super fucking wealthy. They know how to like they don't, a lot of these super wealthy people, they don't own anything. Like, they have, the way they keep their wealth is by putting it into like a trust. I'm gonna like I look into like a lot of like how to like create wealth and keep it generationally.
Yeah.
But I might be getting a lot of this wrong. Basically, they have all their money in assets and stuff, and they never spend their money. They may have these billions, trillions of dollars, but they don't spend their money. Instead, they take loans out against their money. So they go to a bank saying, hey, this is my collateral. I'm just going to take a loan out. Okay, I'll pay you back. And because they take a loan out, they're able to spend the money. And because it's a loan, it's debt. It's not taxed. It's actually tax deductible. So when they pay taxes, they could take the amount that they are able to deduct from taking out a loan and put it against their tax. Like, oh, so I made this money, but I can use the deduction from taking out a loan to decrease the amount of tax.
That's crazy. Okay.
And like, that's just in the tax code. And
yeah. So why doesn't everyone just do that then if they already have money to begin with? Not, it's just they only really do that when they...
A lot of people don't know how to like do this effectively.
Yeah.
Also, when they're like passing down stuff, like if your parents die, right, and in the will they have like, you get the house, right, but it gets in your name, right? It's literally, it goes from their ownership of it to your ownership. You have to pay taxes on getting that. But what you could do is you'd set up a trust, which I'm not sure exactly like what trust is, but basically it's another entity that you give the ownership of the house to the trust. Now you're not getting it. Instead, it goes into this thing. It doesn't have to pay taxes. Instead, you are one of the beneficiaries of the trust. You, because you're a beneficiary of the trust, you get the benefits of the house. But you don't pay taxes on it. You get it.
But then is there any repercussions for just being like not actually owning the house and you just have you're in the trust? Like, what if there's another beneficiary that wants the house?
Yeah, amongst your siblings, but like...
Oh, it's just siblings for in the trust.
Well, it's whoever they want to put it.
Yeah. And the trust is only like,
I'm probably
that's never
missing
dissolved.
Tons of details.
Yeah.
This is like...
Still a lot of information though. Yeah. Still good.
Dude, how do we... I know I was talking about Federal Reserve. Oh, Bitcoin. The reason why Bitcoin is not Bitcoin. The reason why Bitcoin is like people are think it's like, oh, that's crazy, is because there's a limited amount. You can't make an infinite amount of it.
Right.
So there is going to be a set amount, and it's not going to be a deflationary currency like the US dollar. So the value of the dollar goes down over time. Like a dollar in like 19, I forgot the year, but 1916 is the equivalent of 6 cents today.
Okay, yeah.
Or no, 6 cents back then.
Yeah, 6 cents was equal to like $1 or something. Yeah.
Like if you had $1, if you have $1 today, it's equal to 6 cents back in 1940.
Okay,
You have the same buying power.
Right.
But with Bitcoin, over time, it only goes up because there's only a set supply, and the amount of people that can have it, like you could only share the amount. So the demand for it will only go up unless there's a decrease in population or people don't want the Bitcoin anymore.
Yeah.
So if the population keeps going up and more people want Bitcoin, there's only a certain amount to go around. So the value of it has to go up. It's like, oh, if you want it that bad, I could give it to someone else who wants it for more.
Right.
And then US dollar, since I don't know if it's been since the gold standard was taken off. Actually, well, there's like so many things that I got to make sure I mention. So like it was taken off the gold standard. So basically what dollars were back then before it was taken off the gold standard were IOUs, which is like, hey, we have $10. I'm giving you $10 for doing this amount of work. But really, like at that point in the 1970s, people didn't care about gold because so people used to trade in gold, right? That was like currency, and then silver and other metals. But then over time, they're like, that you go to a bank, you put your gold in the bank, and you say, okay, here's your deposit. You have $100 worth of gold, or you have 100 pounds of gold, whatever. So now you have 100 pounds of gold on your receipt or whatever they used. Eventually, they just got to the point where like, wait, why do I need to actually go to the bank and get the gold out and give them my receipt that said I have this amount, I want this much back? Why don't we just trade the IOUs?
Right.
Why don't we just skip the middle, or why don't we just skip the whole step of getting the gold? You have it. Like you could just go and get it yourself.
Yeah.
And then that turned into currencies, which represented that, but people didn't care about that because you just trade money. And they got so far away from using gold that you can just, that they got so far away from gold that no one cared about getting the gold out for the most part. And they went off the gold standard because we couldn't make enough dollars to go around, or I forgot the justification for why they needed to go off the gold standard.
Yeah.
But because they went off the gold standard, they can print as much money as they want. They don't need to have backing of gold, and they don't need to buy gold from people or mines or whatever to print more money.
Yeah. But I'm sure you could also like, isn't there other stuff that's could also be like used for like that? I mean, like there's a lot of other assets that could be used maybe, but it's not owned by the Federal Reserve, and that's why it doesn't count as being backed by something that has validity like gold.
What do you mean?
Like an asset for like land, like maybe the Federal Reserve has like land, and that just the price of that goes up, or like something like that, and then it's like. But yeah, so they just don't have enough backing for the actual amount of money in circulation right now. But
now, definitely not. Like, since 2020, I don't know the number now, but it's more than this. I think it's like 70% of the dollars we have circulating now has been made in the last 4 years.
Has what?
Has been created in the last 4 years.
That's crazy.
Wait,
okay.
That's another big reason for inflation.
Yeah.
How many?
Is that just from COVID also?
Well, they like it was, they were going to keep printing money, but they printed out a lot too.
More because of COVID.
Because we need to give people the, those checks, the
stipends.
Stimulus checks.
Yeah, stimulus checks.
$100 were printed the last 4 years. Other 4 years. It's probably that's another reason. They're always like, we're in debt because like we owe people money, and how we pay for that, it's like, oh, hold on, let me just go to my printer and print to like pay China.
Oh, okay, yeah.
We actually, we're not. We're taking out loans from the Federal Reserve, which I don't know about the mint. I think the mint is owned by the Federal Reserve. 80% of all U.S. dollars in existence.
Whoa.
80% of all U.S. dollars. Oh, okay. So January, this article is posted December 18th, 2021. So this is like 2 years ago.
Okay.
80% of all US dollars in existence were printed in the last 22 months, from $4 trillion in January 2020 to 20 trillion in October 2021.
That's insane.
So that's another reason for inflation skyrocketing.
That means that what, like, our GDP also increased, or like so much more? No, I feel like that would mean like that's crazy.
Well, I can't say it for certain, but I'm pretty sure in that time period, the January 2020 to January October 2021, I don't think we were doing much of anything. Like the country shut down, businesses were shut down.
Okay,
like,
yeah.
Our GDP definitely.
Right. Yeah. So how high can we take this until the end of the world?
Well, that's I mean, technically, like any country could just ask for our money, ask for the amount we owe them,
and then if we'd give it back, but we're just creating more inflation.
Well, that's what people think of as like that's something that could destroy the country.
Yeah.
If we can't pay these countries, whoever else we have.
So we're not paying back any countries right now, or they ask, or we're just persuading them not to ask?
Somehow we're able to, like, I don't know where most of our debt is. Let me look that up. Do you ever see you ever go on the website where it has a live feed of the debt?
No, you just see it increasing like every second. Yeah. Oh God. But apparently that's good to have a little bit of debt, right?
Some people say that. Some people say debt is slavery.
Yeah.
I mean,
we're stuck doing stuff. I mean, yeah, like everybody owes money.
Like that's an argument, like maybe against capitalism. Like basically, like, oh yeah, like we were peasants we basically just worked on the land and gave whatever we owed to the king, and we were enslaved to them or whatever.
Right.
And now, like, oh, we're not enslaved anymore. We just always pay our debt. We always pay our debt, which is, taxes. Oh, we leave college, we go to school and get a shit ton of debt that most people don't pay off for years at a time. So forcing us to go into the workforce and just getting our money and giving it to them.
Yeah, that's literally, yeah. We're still in medieval times. It's just got a little more complicated for us to understand it.
Do you remember the Rick and Morty episode where it's like, that sounds like slavery with extra steps?
Oh, no.
I think I've seen a meme where they were like, that just sounds like slavery with extra steps.
Yeah, yeah.
What is the allocation?
Like, you can't just existing in the United States without doing work. You need to do work. There's just no getting around that.
Yeah, they have the U.S. debt clock. Real time.
So what are we at now? More than 4 trillion?
Let's see, where are we at?
I think last time I checked, it was 4 trillion.
I don't know when you checked that.
What does it say?
It's 34 trillion.
Never mind.
Actually, I think it was 27 trillion year on the beginning of Trump, or maybe 2020.
That's crazy. Okay.
Oh, wait, no, here. There's a time machine. Go back. When do you want to know? 2020?
Yeah, before COVID, actually.
27 trillion.
Whoa. Okay, so it went up like what, like
7 trillion.
7 trillion. Okay.
In the last 4 years.
Damn.
2016. Let's see. 20 trillion. It was about. So the last 8 years, we've gone up about 7 trillion every 4 years.
Wow. But before that, it wasn't that much. But it's like, yeah, just like in the span like of 8 years.
But you know what? From 2016 to 2020, it was only 16 trillion. Or it was 16 trillion at 2016.
Okay, yeah.
Let's see the financial crash. 2008. 11 trillion.
That makes sense.
Let's go to 1980. Where are we at? We weren't even at a trillion.
Really? Wait, back in when?
1980.
1980, okay. What?
So we were at 947 million or billion. And then 44 years later, just fucking at $33 trillion.
Yeah.
That's almost a trillion a year.
That's insane. Yeah, yeah. Wow.
Let me check 1990. I didn't see that.
Well, I guess we're all screwed, but I mean,
3 trillion 1990.
3 trillion 1990. Okay. Wow.
31 trillion in the last 30
since we were born.
Years.
Since we were born, the entire country has got 34 trillion in debt, or more than that. Yeah.
About 29.
29. Okay.
Because the year 2000 was 5 trillion.
Yeah. Okay.
24 years ago.
That's insane. Wow. So other countries, are they also in debt like this? I don't know. I don't research anything.
I think the last time
they're connected to us, so they're kind of screwed too, right?
I don't know.
I mean, that's how the Great Depression works.
Yeah,
I don't understand that map either.
I was looking at Asia. I saw Asia.
Tectonic plate maybe for India.
Well, I was looking at. I was like, wait, Asia's that entire thing. Where's Russia? Is Russia Asia?
It says Russian Empire for the map instead. We're looking at this map behind me over here.
Russia is mostly Asia.
Yeah. Even though
is that mostly uninhabited?
Yeah, the most of Russia lives in the area that's considered Europe, like before the Ural Mountains. That's because nobody was there, and like
no one wants to be there.
I mean,
take that, fucking Siberia.
Yeah, it was kind of just like, I mean, there were people there, but they killed them all. But yeah, it wasn't like China was like the only opposing force in that area during that time before they were able to really do anything. But yeah, now with global warming, it's going to be like the people are saying like the Arctic Sea is going to be like crazy, like good for like trading and stuff like that.
Oh, wait, isn't it? Aren't things opening up over there?
I think they're good. Well, Russia definitely wants it to open up a lot more. So that's just also like bad when you think of like climate change that like, yeah, Russia's not going to stop. So that means like, China also wants the Arctic Sea to open, so China's probably not going to stop, and then that means the United States isn't either. But we got Alaska, so that's good at least. So like we have like a little area in that, but it's still like not
as stretched out it is on that map.
Not as big as Siberia though, sadly. Yeah, the Mercator projection always screws up these types of maps. It's always so frustrating.
I think that was another reason why the Viking, what's it called, Viking era?
Viking, I don't know if there was a specific time period just for the Vikings.
Well, they call it like the Age of Vikings or something. It was like late 900s to like the or something.
Yeah.
But like the reason why they came over to England at that time, well, one of the reasons, probably maybe the major reason, was because that all the sea was frozen up there and started to break loose, and it started to like so obviously now it's not frozen, but like I think back then it was frozen, and then it got unfrozen enough that they could sail across whatever body of water that is.
So it was like you were saying that it was like frozen back then, but then it like thawed and then they were able to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But then yeah. Because I know it's like they probably, I mean, yeah, most of the time in like the Arctic Ocean, it's like frozen for the winter, and then like a large portion of it is like unnavigable. But I'm assuming they only did it during like the summer or the warmer seasons at least, like travel there. But yeah, I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure what time of year they went. I mean, I think they ever seen the show Vikings. They're like, oh yeah, like during the show, like nothing really happened during the winter.
Yeah. Because they're just hiding because they're trying not to freeze to death the entire time.
Well, not hiding, just because like I don't think they could sail through it.
Oh yeah,
Might have been, frozen. My mic just fucked up.
Like the musical. All right, you want to call the podcast there?
Yeah. Oh damn.
All right. Yes, sir. And we got a whole thing on video this time, so that's pretty cool too. Hopefully the audio is crisp and nice. So, all right, guys, this has been Carbo with Jacob, and we are signing out. Thank you guys for watching.
Peace.